If you're a Catholic parent who loves video games, it can be hard to find games to play with your children, especially if, like me, you have a wide range of ages in your children and you want to include everybody and you want to find time to play video games with them and pass on your love. Well, today I'm going to tell you 3 games and a couple honorable mentions of games that I think are perfect to include the whole family and help them to grow. Welcome to Intermarifica, New Mexico, the channel where we look at questions of wonder from the perspectives of faith and reason, philosophy and theology, and especially on the cultural wonders that we find ourselves among. Intermarifica, that's how the church uses the language of the many cultural wonders. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite cultural wonders of the modern world, and that's video games. Love video games. But with a family, sometimes it's hard to find good family video games. So I'm going to recommend 3 video games that are great for the whole family. So some of the criteria I use to pick these games is, first of all, they have to be able to include, they have to be multiplayer, have to be able to somehow include. I love RPGs and stuff, but it kind of sucks sometimes when you're playing and it's just you playing. Some kids love to watch that, but most, they want to be involved some way. I included ones that can work if you have little kids. That will work if you have older kids and little kids, because that's very hard. And I also only included games that don't have this tendency to become addictive. Games that, especially free games and stuff, but all games now want to have a tendency, a lot of games, to enslave you, to make you play even if you don't want to play. So like Pokemon Unite, I love. It's easy for kids to pick up. It's free. There's a lot of great things about Pokemon Unite, but it has that tendency, like a lot of free games, to try to enslave you and try to addict you. So I don't include any of that. That's automatically not included. So what are these 3 games? The first one I want to recommend to you if you're looking for a game to play with the family and with small children that has really worked for me is Mario Wonder. Such a well-built game. And so it's a side-scrolling Mario, right? You're jumping, you're platforming, all that good stuff. It's up to 4-player. But it doesn't have if you played the older Mario games that were 4-player, you might be like, it gets too chaotic. It gets too crazy. I can't deal with that. This has solved that. There's no more throwing each other off cliffs into holes. That's fun, but it gets too crazy. There's none of pushing each other and stuff. You can just help each other. And your interaction with each other is mostly through the level, which is the way it should be. But the best part of this game is, first of all, the difficulty level for most levels is a part where even my wife, who's not a big video game nerd, she loves to play it. So it's not too hard. It's not too hard to get into. You can play up to 4 players, so that's great for the kids that you have. But also the way it balances, okay, the parents probably want a challenge, but the kids, it needs to be a little easier for, but it's not fun to be carried either, is some of the characters you can be, like Yoshi or Nabbit, they're invincible to normal damage, so they only have to worry about not falling down pits. And it works because then the enemies and stuff make it harder for you, the parents, but they're not messing up the child's experience. And it's so much fun. It's just great, and we can all get together and play it. And a great example is this. The last boss is really, his difficulty is pretty high unless you've played a lot of platformers, which I have, but it's a good, decent high, but all his attacks are doing damage, not throwing off the edge. So while you're trying to figure out how to beat him and you're going through, your kids are still having a good time. They can still contribute, and they're not just dying and dying and dying. So Mario Wonder, highly recommend it for families. Highly, highly. You'll have a great time. Really, really fun. The next one I want to recommend is Mario Kart. Okay, Mario Kart 8 for the Switch. Again, that you can have a bunch of people playing, and you can turn on for the kids so that they're not just having a horrible time. Assists that just assist them so they're not driving off the edge. Again, not my youngest, but my son who's playing video games, who is young, he has a good time playing Mario Kart, and we can also have a good time playing Mario Kart. And then the different modes. I never liked the Mario Kart 8 battle modes, but I was playing it with some of my nieces and nephews and my other family, and like the hide and seek tag one is actually really fun for little kids. So there's all these modes, and everyone feels included, and it's just really, really fun. Bright colors, which are great. So I highly recommend Mario Kart 8. That's one that you can play with your family. The next one was very surprising to me, but even my wife, who's not a video game nerd, loves to play it with the kids and with the family. And that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Revenge of Shredder. It's very, it's not a AAA game, so it doesn't cost as much, but you can get the digital for a good price. And it's up to 6 players. and it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. And I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so do my kids, so that's a bonus. But it really works the difficulty level that your kids can contribute, but it doesn't hurt you even if they're not doing good, and you'll still have enough of a challenge. So even on the highest difficulty, which is what my family was playing through, we still had this good mix. There were tough levels and there were easy levels, and the kids never felt left out. One thing I really like too is the storylines. The cutscenes are really short, just kind of very simple cartoons, don't even have a lot of movement, not a lot of action. But the story is very silly. Obviously, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I loved that it actually used foreshadowing very effectively, that the kids could catch on to and say, oh, that was foreshadowed. So it was a great introduction to that. So I really highly recommend this game. An honorable mention that I didn't include would be the Kirby game for the Switch. That's 2-player, and it's really simple and easy, so that my son that wants to play video games, he has an easy time playing it. It's 2-player though, so you can't have the whole family, but it's just you two together, or even I just love to watch him. So that's an honorable mention. But it doesn't include the whole family, so I'm not including in the main games. So I hope if you love video games and you love Catholic stuff, that you don't want the video games to hurt your kids' morals. You just want them to have a good time and grow in their hand-eye coordination, their intelligence, their puzzle solving, all that good stuff. I recommend these games, and I hope that was helpful to you. You have a good day. God bless you.